People, we are Tottenham TV back here for another international break loan watch. Spurs have 13 players out on loan through the various leagues at this moment in time. Some doing well, some not doing so well. So we're going to go through each one and give you a bit of an update on how they are doing. I am here with Mr. Brian Daigle. I know you're excited for at least one of these.
Yeah, I'm waiting for us to get to the main event, the main meal. Just delighted to be here with you for another day and talk all things Tottenham.
Well, let's get into the first one. We're going to get into George Abbott. So last time we brought you a loan watch about a month ago, the last international break, George Abbott was flying, doing so well. He had played 9 games. He'd scored a goal. He got an assist in the cup as well. However, since then, he has only played 1 game, but that is not due to, no fault of his own, because he has picked up a quad injury. He's due to be back, they say, earliest time around Christmas time. So it's not the longest of injuries, but is quite a significant one because it has kept him out for about a month already. So, yeah, they're saying about a month, 2.5 months by the end of it, he might be out for, maybe even 3 months. But George Abbott, playing at the heart of midfield for Wycombe, moved up seamlessly the leagues from Notts County last year to Wycombe this year. He just needs to be getting back playing football. He needs to overcome this injury and get back to doing what he does best, and that's smashing it out of the park, because he was having such a fantastic loan spell before that.
Yeah, he certainly was. And the good thing, what I'm loving about it at the moment, is we're finding the right clubs for some of these players, aren't they? And we're doing it right through the divisions. So I'm liking what Spurs are doing with players like George Abbott. He was brilliant last season for Notts County, wasn't he? And he got off to a great start with Wycombe. And he is showing what he's all about. And I can't wait to see him get back at Christmas time, be revitalised. And he's one you're probably sure that will make a big impact in Wycombe season.
Yeah, you think so. 20 years of age now, George Abbott. I always thought he was a bit younger than that, but 20. In terms of if his loan spell keeps going on this trajectory, do you expect him to keep going up the leagues or come back, fight for a space? Like, where are you at with it?
Well, you've got to see. I mean, we're going to go through. There are a lot of players on loan, and there are a lot of them that are midfielders, aren't they? Whether they be defensive, central, attacking. So we've also got a massive amount of midfielders at the club already. So I think what people in modern day football now are thinking now, that if you're 20 and you're still going out on loan, you've got no future. It doesn't work that way. I think another loan for him might be on the cards, because I just can't see him breaking into the first team. But if he carries on having good loan spells in different leagues, it's only going to benefit us in the long run, isn't it?
Yeah. Another player out on loan in League One is Damola Ajayi. We saw him firsthand, didn't we, at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium in the Carabao Cup for Doncaster. He's played 10 games in the league. I mean, if you cast your mind back to pre-season, he was smashing it out for them in pre-season, scoring goal after goal. Hasn't really related to the league form. He's played 4 cup games, he got a goal. But in terms of the league, he's just not a consistent starter for them. He's mainly getting sub-appearances. I'm not sure if this level's a bit too high for him. He needs to drop down to League 2, because you've got to remember, it is his first loan spell, which I expected him to do a bit better, because, off that cameo against Elfsborg last season where he scored that brilliant goal, I've even seen some fans say, just, give him more minutes in the first team at Spurs. And I'm like, he can't get starts for Doncaster. So what do you reckon with Damola?
Yeah, it's a tough one. Like you said, at pre-season, he was scoring for fun, wasn't he? He was certainly having a major contribution to whatever Doncaster were doing. Like I said, it is his first loan. He's gone out there. Maybe it's the style of play. Maybe come the Christmas period when everyone's playing so often, he'll get more game time. But to go out on your first loan, he's doing well, but like I said, you would have thought he might be kicking on a little bit better and be a more constant starter, wouldn't you, in the league? Yeah,
I just do wonder, maybe in January, if a League 2 loan comes out for him, and maybe we can recall him and send him out somewhere that he's going to get consistent minutes, because I just feel like with these loan players, if they're struggling and if they're on the bench consistently, you want them to be playing, don't you? They need to be playing.
You do, but then you've also got to look at it in 2 ways. First of all, how will Damola feel when he goes down a division? Will it knock his confidence and think, what does the club think of me? But you can look at it the other way and go, do you know what? I can really sink my teeth into this and maybe have more of a contribution, which would send his confidence sky high. It's a difficult one, but you'd rather him getting more game time, wouldn't you? So maybe that is an option.
Next up, we're going to talk about Jamie Donnelly at Stoke. It's really not going well for Jamie. And, you know, a lot of people had such high hopes for him. Some people were saying keep him around in the first team, particularly with the new 2 number 10s that, you know, Kulusevski and Maddison that were going into the season injured. I think that was mainly before Javi Simmons joined the club. But, yeah, I mean, he just cannot get minutes at all for Stoke. Even sometimes he's not even in the squad. Sometimes he's not coming off the bench. He's played his part in 4 games in the Championship this year. He's grabbed an assist, which came on his debut. But 4 games and all of them have been off the bench. He hasn't started 1 Championship game yet for Stoke. Stoke doing really well in the Championship, and he's fighting for his space with South Korean Bae Jun-ho, who's, you know, a really decent football player. But for him not to start a league game, and we're sitting here 12th of November, that's concerning. And in my opinion, if that's still the case from the start of the January transfer window, surely you've got to recall him and find a better loan for him.
Yeah, I mean, before we talk about the loan, what I will say is, obviously, like I said, there were lots of people saying keep him here, give him minutes. I think it just shows, obviously, he had such a tremendous loan at Leyton Orient last season. Him and Keeley, both of them, really transformed that team. We're saying get him back to Tottenham, give him minutes there. We're doing this with a lot of players where if he's not even getting minutes at Stoke and he can't get into that team, yes, it could be a different style of football to what we're playing. If he can't make that team or have an impact there, what's to say he's going to come in and set the world alight at Spurs with the players that we do have? So this has got to be a little bit concerning for Jamie, obviously not getting the minutes and then seeing obviously Ashley Phillips get loads of them. If we have a buyback or recall clause in it in January, it's exactly what I'll do and try and find a better team for him to get to where we can get guaranteeing first team football, because he needs it. And like we were talking yesterday, if need be, and Leyton Orient are interested again, send him back to Warwick because they know they'll love him. He'll get in the team immediately and he will play and he will develop. It may be a league down, but the experience is what's key here, isn't it?
But yeah, I agree with that. But, you know, with Jamie, it should be said as well that his Leyton Orient loan did start off slow as well.
Yeah.
He wasn't playing, you know, as much. I mean, he was playing a lot more football, but he wasn't starting every game. And then something that just clicked at some point in the season, and then he just started to fly. I think it started around the time of the Man City game in the FA Cup, so that was around January time. Must have been early January. So, is it worth keeping him around there, or should we recall him back? I mean, the last 3 matchday squads he hasn't been a part of. That's mad to me.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. I think Jamie actually Donnelly started kicking on just a little bit before then, around
right.
now Christmas time kind of thing, and then it really all clicked in. But you look at it, even when he was at Orient, if he wasn't starting, he was on the bench and was coming on getting minutes. To not be in the squad 3 games in a row is highly concerning for Jamie himself, and surely training hard all week, doing what he's doing, to not even be picked in the squad has got to be a bit concerning for him as well. And I think he would jump at the chance to go to another team where he would be featuring more regularly. So he's training with a better calibre of player. He's in a different league, but I still think he could do well in the Championship. But it's obviously not working at Stoke, and we should try and find him a team where his skills will be more suited.
Yeah, that's definitely one I think that we should most definitely recall in January and try find a better loan spell. Next up, Alfie Dorrington.
Oh, I got excited.
Alfie Dorrington. Dorrington at Aberdeen. So last season he had a stellar loan spell there, didn't he? He was at the heart of their defence. He was starting week in, week out, won the cup at the end of the season as well. This year, not going exactly the same, where he's getting minutes, but he's not a consistent starter for them, and he's kind of sometimes in the team for a couple of games, comes out, then comes back in on the bench. Very kind of up and down for Alfie Dorrington at Aberdeen. Currently, he is out with an injury for the last couple of weeks, a groin injury, not expected to keep him out for too long. But yeah, I struggle to think about what happens with Alfie now, because if he can't nail down that spot at Aberdeen, is he going to make it at Spurs? Because I feel like with Alfie Dorrington, he was spoken about so highly in such high regard. Then he got that mess of injury that kept him out for a year, and he hasn't really been able to pick up the pieces since then.
Yeah, this is one that I think the future at Tottenham may be bleak because, like you said, very, very highly regarded before that injury. Kind of like what Harry Winks was before he got that injury against Burnley, wasn't it? And when he came back, it took him ages to find any form. But when you look at it right now, struggling to get into the Aberdeen team constantly. But then when you look at our defence and you look at the defenders we've got, Dragusin to come back, Takai to come back, Vuskovic and Phillips, I would say, are ahead of them. Where does Alfie Dorrington fit in? I think Alfie Dorrington might be the centre-back that doesn't make the grade at Tottenham. I think he will go on to play well and be a high standard of football, but I just can't see where he gets in at Tottenham right now.
He is only 20 years of age, and we know defenders develop a bit later on than maybe some other positions, so he's still got time in his side for sure. But yeah, like you said, with the competition for places at Spurs, with Ashley Phillips doing what he's doing, which we'll get onto in a minute at Stoke, and I'm not even certain that Ashley Phillips is going to come back to Spurs. I think we're going to end up selling him. So Dorrington is below the pecking order to Ashley Phillips, and you've got the players that we've already got there, plus a Vuskovic, who has to be at the top of the pile. So Alfie Dorrington, he just needs to just keep doing what he's doing, and he'll make a career for himself for sure.
Yep.
Next up is a player that I am super excited for, and he goes by the name of Tyrese Hall. 11 games this season, 5 goals, 1 assist. He's playing in the kind of number 10 position for Notts County. They play a kind of 3-5-2 system, 3-4-3 system, and he's like one of the number 10s behind the striker. And they absolutely love him. They've already got a song for him. He's performing out of his skin every game. It's his first loan spell, first kind of appearance in men's football. His trajectory over the last couple of years has been nothing short of phenomenal, because he was part of the under-18s, and then he got streamlined into the under-21s, and he wasn't even there for that long, and then got drafted in, didn't he? And he played in that post-season friendly for Spurs against Newcastle, and I thought he looked really good in that game as well. He's a player that I think the profile of player that Spurs actually desperately need, and I think this guy does have a future at Tottenham. And look, he needs to keep on his development. His development's going really well at the moment. He needs to keep working his way up the league. He's super young, but he's got a really good head on his shoulders. He's taken to life at Notts County so brilliantly, and he just keeps going up and up and up. Yeah,
and for a first loan spell away from the club, he's thriving there. But again, we were speaking about this off screen. One of the things I'm loving that Spurs are doing now is, obviously, this is the second loan after George Abbott we spoke about that's gone to Notts County, and there seems to be a relationship building there of trust where Spurs can say, right, we're going to send a loan player to you. We know you're going to play them. We know you're going to get the best out of them. We know you're going to develop them and give them the time. So I'm delighted with what Spurs are doing there. But he does look like he's thriving in League Two, and long may that continue. And I agree with you. I think he is a kind of player with the profile of exactly what we're looking for right now. And I expect big things from him.
With Tyrese as well, he's had to proper work for his spot at Notts County as well, because at the start of the season he wasn't starting. And it all kind of changed on one sub-appearances. He came on with 24 minutes to go, got 2 goals off the bench. And since then, pretty much he's been starting every game, and he's been one of their main players this season. Like I said before, the fans love him. The managers said such high words about him as well. Everyone is just waxing lyrical about Tyrese Hall. And I think this is one of the success stories on loan so far. And that goes into what you're saying as well, because Notts County, George Abbott was there last year, and he was one of the success stories on loan. So Notts County seems to be a good place for our players to develop.
Exactly. And you look at, like you said, he came on and made an impact in that game and scored 2 goals from the sub-appearance. And that's what it's all about when you're going out on loan, isn't it? Hard work, dedication, training hard. And when you get your opportunity, take it. And he has done that. Notts County have benefited. He's benefiting, which in the long term benefits Tottenham. So well done to Tyrese.
Will Lancashire. Let's talk about Will Lancashire out on Oxford in the Championship. We all looked at Will Lancashire's loan last year at West Brom, which was bitterly disappointing when he went in January, got 11 games, didn't manage to score a goal. Well, his loan spell at Oxford is going much better. 14 games, 5 goals already to his name, scored in the last game week as well. And we all had such high hopes because, big physical striker. We know he knows where the back of the net is with that season with the under-21s where he finished top goal scorer. I think he got player of the season as well in the league. So we know he's got bundles of talent, and that's why I think a lot of people were so disappointed with the way that loan spell at West Brom went. But now at Oxford, 5 goals and 14 is decent, but I think he's still got it in him to get more. But in terms of being in a tough league, championship, up across, big physical defenders in a physical league, I think he's doing really well.
Yeah, I mean, again, you mentioned Oxford. I think Scarlett went there, didn't he, last season?
Yeah.
Or season before, and obviously that didn't work out. But we've trusted Oxford again with a striker. He is getting minutes, and like you said, at West Brom, he wasn't getting the minutes, and maybe they deemed he wasn't strong enough, big enough, or ready for this league. Well, Oxford have put their trust in him, and he is rewarding them. And you look at it right now, with our struggles to score goals and wanting a big, strong guy to be able to hold up the play, again, he is the kind of profile. Not saying he should have stayed and would have started, but to see him getting minutes and getting amongst the goals is always good to see, and he's taking his opportunity.
Yeah, I think like when I look at his goals that he's scored so far, they're mainly kind of like poachers' efforts, like nothing too spectacular, no amazing shots from the edge of the area or anything like that, but being in the right place, right time, proper poachers' efforts. I don't think like he's doing too much to maybe impact the play game by game. Last game he scored against Ryan Mason's West Brom, and Ryan Mason would have known a lot about him at the time, but yeah, look, all you could do is put the ball in the back of the net, and that's one of the hardest things in football. So you got to give him credit.
Oh, you do, but also you've got to remember, we in modern day football, we've kind of got away from the game where the old school centre forwards were that fox in the box, were that goal poacher, and being in the right place in the time of your runs and finding the space is a massive part of a striker's game. Like we look at it, we've been getting the crosses in this season, and there's just been no one there. Like literally no one there. And you look at someone like a Will Lancashire, they are putting the crosses in, and he is there and he's taking those opportunities. So having that kind of striker's instinct to be at the right place, right time to get those poachers' goals is just as important as being able to score 25-yard thunderbolts or be there for a header somewhere. It's a vital part of a striker's game.
Absolutely. All right, so that's Will Lancashire. Definitely needs to stay on the same path, keep doing what he's doing, get even more goals in the last 3 quarters of the season. Mikey Moore. Let's talk about Mikey Moore, people.
Yeah, you got excited.
Because Mikey Moore, look, I don't think it's any secret about how much I love Mikey Moore and how much I value him as a player and as a talent and how far I think he can go in the game and how excited I got when he was part of the first team last season. So last international break, we did an update on Mikey Moore, and it was going really horribly for Mikey in Glasgow, to be honest. And Russell Martin was the manager. They were like 8th in the league or something crazy like that. They had gone through a run of like 1 win in 7 SPL games. And Mikey Moore, whenever he got on the pitch, he was played in the wrong position, weren't getting the best out of him, struggling for confidence. Look, everything was going against him. And even Rangers fans were coming out and being like, look, this guy's crap. What's all the hype about? All this stuff. Well, things have slightly changed since the last international break because they have changed their manager. Danny Rowe has come in. He's got him playing in his favourite position out on the left wing. Sometimes he has got him a bit on the right as well, but he's got him in those kind of central areas, picking up those pockets as well, and he's really hurting the opposition. The last 3 games for Mikey, it's made Rangers fans completely change their tune on him. Everyone's saying, wow, this guy could be even our best player. This guy is making an impact, in big games as well. The first game, which I think everyone really noticed it, was in the Old Firm derby against Celtic, where it was a cup game. They ended up losing the game 3-1, but Celtic were, giving him a bit of a hiding. And Mikey Moore comes on with about half an hour to go, and the game changed. Rangers started putting it on Celtic. Mikey Moore was central to that. And to do it in a game of that magnitude, in that atmosphere, I think is really impressive. So people are saying he could have got an assist or goals in that game as well. Didn't happen for him. The next game he started at home to Roma in the Europa League, was one of the best players on the park. Definitely Rangers' best player on the day. If you want to go look at his individual highlights, he was brilliant. Didn't get a goal or assist, but was very close to doing so. Rangers lost 2-0 to Roma, but he was a highlight for Rangers. His best game in a Rangers shirt coming in his last game against Dundee away from home. Rangers won 3-0. Mikey got his first goal for Rangers and got a goal chalked out as well, which a lot of people saying it shouldn't have been chalked off and he should be ending the game with 2 goals. So I was actually watching a Rangers podcast as well after that game, and they are in love with the boy. They are waxing lyrical about him, and they just want him to start week in, week out. And they are saying this guy is going to be a massive, massive player in world football.
Yeah, you look at it with Mikey. It's funny. Living in Toronto, I've met so many fans where I never met fans, and I've got one at Toronto Spurs Navy who is originally from Glasgow, big Glasgow Rangers fan. Messages me every day or every game with a Mikey update and everything. And he's saying how the pendulum has swung since the new manager has come in. We all thought when he went to Rangers that is the ideal place for him to toughen up, mentality, and learn so much about himself and kick on as a player. Obviously, Rangers were in a complete and utter mess under Russell Martin. New managers come in. We all know the potential he's got. We all know what this guy can do on his day. And now he is turning very good performances in, now contributing goals. And I think he even tweeted personally saying this has been great for my confidence and mentality in looking at football at a big club. And like you said, no matter how old you are, no matter how good you are, that Old Firm game, because of the rivalry and what it means up there, is a massive game in world football. One of the most hostile, toxic games to play in, and he handled himself brilliantly, didn't he?
He was fantastic.
That will give him so much confidence, because that game is no joke. And Mikey will go on. We all know the talent he's got, and we may have been talking before the new manager came in, is this one we bring back and get him out on loan at another team? Well, it looks like it's all going to work out for him, and to hear the Rangers fans go from one side to the other, it's just great to hear as Spurs fans, isn't it?
Yeah, it really is. So big up to Mikey. Keep doing what you're doing. I always knew you were going to turn it around there. And I think Danny Roll has had a significant part to play in the development so far of Mikey Moore. And long may it continue.
Damn right.
Now let's talk about another absolute baller in Luka Vuskovic, man. Is there anything this guy can't do? Like, seriously, like, not only has he won the last 2 Young Player of the Month, so they call it Rookie of the Month in Germany, so he's been the best young player in Germany over the last 2 months. He's starting week in, week out for Hamburg. He's got the most aerial duels won per 90 out of all centre-backs in the whole of Europe's top 5 leagues, which is crazy.
Yep.
He's an aerial threat. He's a goal threat. He's putting in worldies of performances week in, week out. And last time out, coming out against Dortmund, where they drew 1-1, and Luka Vuskovic came out of that with absolute rave reviews. And let's be honest, he's getting rave reviews pretty much every game he's playing right now. Look, everyone's saying, why is he at Hamburg? Why is he not at Tottenham? I'm saying just keep his development going for another year, then get him in the fold next season, because this guy... Look, I know the term generational talent gets bandied about so easily, but this guy is a generational talent, man. He really is. Week in, week out star for Hamburg. He's only got the 1 goal this season at centre-back, so, maybe needs to think about upping those numbers. But jokes aside, I think Luka Vuskovic is absolutely cooking for Hamburg. He's been cooking all season. Best young talent in the Bundesliga right now. And I can't wait. I cannot wait for next season to see him in the fold.
I tell you what, we've had to hear a term as Tottenham Hotspur fans so many times in recent years, and that term is one for the future.
Yeah.
Now, if there has ever been a player that epitomised and embodies one for the future, it has been this man. And obviously picking him up at 16, what was it for, around 10, 11 million pounds at the time, or something like that. And of course, a lot of Spurs fans were like, what are we doing here? What's going on? But my God, the Spurs scouting team and the board and everyone got it right, because that's an awful lot of money to pay for a 16-year-old.
Yeah.
And Spurs have got it bang on with this guy. It is so exciting to see him develop, and I think, again, we spoke about this yesterday. Him going, I mean, Poland, he had to go because of his work permit issues as well, didn't he? I think he had to do the same with Belgium, didn't he? But now he's got his work permit, it's all good. and he officially came to us. Now to go, we saw him against Reading, didn't we? Within 10 seconds, 10 minutes, he'd put in a colossal challenge at Reading, got an assist, and was just like, this man. And obviously, he wanted to go on loan. Great to see him go to the Bundesliga, which is a league he's stepped up at every point, hasn't he? And everywhere he goes, the reports are just glowing. And what I've loved more than anything is seeing Chelsea fans and other fans from rival teams say, January, here we go, this is the answer, go get Vuskovic. And especially the Chelsea fans, it's like, I think you might want to see he's not a Hamburg player, he is a Tottenham Hotspur player, and you have zero chance of getting him.
Yeah.
This guy, when we talk about ones that could be in for a real big future, already in the Croatian team at such a young age, we saw that skill thing that he was doing. This guy has a big future, and I just hope we actually do this right with him. And yes, he is showing all the attributes and all the things that we want to see in the Spurs defence, but let him get his experience. Let him get accustomed to all these leagues. Every league he goes to, every time he stays for a season, again, it is benefit Tottenham Hotspur. And for his development, we bring him back now. Yes, he would be on the bench or whatever. Will he be playing regularly? No. At Hamburg, he is guaranteed regular minutes, pretty much every single game. And he is just flourishing at every single loan deal he goes to, isn't he?
It's mad, isn't it? Because like at 16, when he's making his debut in the Croatian league, you're thinking, all right, look, this guy's got crazy amount of talent starting and getting significant minutes at 16. At 17, he's going to the Polish league, and you're thinking, all right, yeah, let's see how he does. And they're saying, yeah, but it's only the Polish league. It's only the Polish league. He steps out to the Belgian league, scores 7 goals in a season in 36 games, playing alongside Alfie Devine as well. And you're thinking, and everyone's saying, yeah, that is unbelievable. But yeah, look, it's only the Belgian league. Mm-hmm. Well, now he's doing it in the Bundesliga.
Yep.
And the Bundesliga is one of the top 3 leagues in world football, in European football. Yep. So I've literally got no question in my mind that this guy is going to make it big for Tottenham Hotspur. Like, literally no question.
Mate, 100% with you. 100% with you.
All right, so that's Luka Vuskovic, and also he's going to be making his debut, or his first start. Yep. He has already made his debut off the bench and got 3 minutes, but the Croatian manager did confirm that this guy is going to be starting for Croatia against Faroe Islands in their first game. So the trajectory of this man just keeps going up and up and up.
Well,
and up.
You look at it as well. Faroe Islands, with no disrespect, said what a perfect opportunity to bleed him in. It's like, yes, you're going to have to defend, but it's not like you're playing a dominant team. It'll be a team where he can
probably
show his passing, he can show his other attributes. But getting capped by Croatia and starting, what belief Croatian national team have in him, this all just benefits Tottenham Hotspur.
Yeah, exactly. And it's not like it's a tin pot nation like Croatia, a big nation, a big footballing nation, you know what I mean?
Very good to Spurs,
massive team, yeah. So probably playing alongside Gvardiol or something at the back. So, all right. Next up is Yang Min Hyuk of Portsmouth. 9 games, 2 goals, 1 assist. Just before the last international break, he really started to cook for Portsmouth. Burst onto the scene with 2 goals and an assist in the space of 3 games. Since then, it hasn't really gone. He hasn't really been impacting games as much as he was in those games. But Portsmouth have gone on a horrible run since then. In the last, 5 games, they've lost 4. And they've drawn 1, and they lost 2-1 to Coventry, but Coventry are absolutely like they're flying high, and they lost 3-2 to Hull in the last game. But apart from that, they haven't scored a goal. So unfortunately, Yang Min Hyuk, I would say it's a little bit of a backstep, but he's still getting the minutes. I think in the last 2 games actually, he's been on the bench, no appearance, an 8-minute sub cameo. But before that, he was starting but getting taken off early in games. So hasn't been great over the last kind of 4 or 5 games, but let's hope he can get back to those levels what he was showing beforehand.
Yeah, I mean, you know what we've got to work out Yang Min Hyuk as well. He hasn't even been in the country a year yet. He came in January, didn't he?
Yeah.
So he came in January, went to QPR. He showed some of what he's got with his speed and direct ball carrying at QPR, and did well and grew into it there. He's gone to Portsmouth, which is another great footballing club with great support, and he started off well. This guy hasn't even been in the country for a year yet, so I've actually been impressed with what I've seen of him. since he came in. Obviously, he came in, we didn't know where he'd fit in. We have so many wingers, and it was like, what are you going to do? But been here a year, settled into the country well, and I think he is actually going to go on to good things, but hopefully he'll get more game time second half of the season.
Yeah. And also, by the way, he's been called up to the South Korean national team for this international break. So he hasn't been called up for a while. I think he's had one call up before then. It was quite some time ago. So that shows you where they kind of see his development at this moment in time. So big up to Yang Min-hyuk. Next up, we're going to talk about Ashley Phillips of Stoke. So Ashley Phillips, he had to fight his way into the starting lineup for Stoke this year. I think he was at... Who was that?
Was it Stoke last year?
Yeah, he was at Stoke last year, and he was doing really well. He was a mainstay at the back. This year, Stoke are having a phenomenal season. And this is like, you've got two players there in Jamie Donnelly and Ashley Phillips, and they're like the polar opposites of how players are doing on their loan spells. Ashley Phillips started off the season on the bench, but now, the last 10 games or so, he has been a mainstay in that back line with Stoke flying high, third in the division. Stoke fans carry on loving him. The manager keeps talking really highly of him. I've said it to Sim on a number of occasions with Ashley Phillips. Like, I feel like he's got nothing left to prove at this level. He's done it for so many years now. At such a young age, at 20 years of age, he's got a phenomenal amount of minutes behind him in the Championship. And I think this guy now needs to move up. I think the Championship, we know what he can do at the Championship now, and we know he can perform at a top level in it.
Yeah, there are two English players, and we're going to speak about the other one, that I have been keeping a very, very close eye on. I love Ashley Phillips. As I said again, people that I've met in Toronto that I've never met in England, met a Blackburn fan. And when we were going in for him, said, you're getting a good one. Obviously, he was stop-start with Blackburn, but he'd watched him develop, and he was like, this guy is a top defender. And when we got him, and that was amidst all the Harry Kane transfer, so it kind of went under the radar and the value. I think he's a future England international. I have all the belief in this guy, and I agree. I think second half of the season, Stoke may not want to let him go. I don't know what the structure is, because they are flying high. If you check on Twitter on the Stoke fans, they absolutely adore him. They absolutely adore Ashley Phillips, and I think I would love to see him move to a Premier League team for the second half of the season. I hope he makes it at Spurs, because I think he is going to be. I think he's a future England international. I've got that much belief in what I see of him, and I watch Stoke as often as I can. Not as much as I'm watching Preston, who we'll come on to. I'm a huge fan of Ashley Phillips. I think he's got all the ingredients to be a superb defender. The day we signed him, I put a tweet out and said, the year's 2029, Spurs are coming out, and Ashley Phillips is leading Tottenham out as captain. I just hope this guy makes it. I think he's going to be a wonderful defender.
Thing is, with Ashley Phillips, over the past couple of years of him in the Championship, there have been, don't get me wrong, he's done phenomenally well. Plymouth, they loved him there. Last year and a bit now at Stoke, he's done phenomenally well. Even at Blackburn, when he didn't get too many minutes, but they knew he was a proper, really good player, and they loved him. There's always been question marks about his ball-playing ability and how good he is on the ball, and can he be a kind of modern centre-back for a team like Tottenham, playing the way we want to play, playing out the back and everything. I think, he's a proper old-school defender, isn't he? Like, no nonsense, big, physical, taking no shit. And I think that he will make a Premier League career for himself, for sure. But I'm just not sure if it's going to be at Tottenham. Not because I doubt his ability, just because I rate the other players higher than him, like a Luka Vuskovic. I think he's further along in his development. How many of these centre-backs are we going to bring through? We got Romero, we got Van der Ven. Van der Ven's fairly young. All the other defenders that we've got, we're so stacked in that position. So I feel that Ashley Phillips is one that we're probably going to look to sell out.
This is the issue. What we've spoken about, we are stacked in that area. Vuskovic is doing very, very well everywhere he goes. There's no doubt about it. The one thing I think that Ashley Phillips has over him right now is all these loans are in an English club, where it's the Championship is a very fast, furious, relentless league, where I think you gain so much experience being in the Championship because of how often you play, how important it is to try and get that promotion. So I think he has that above Vuskovic, not on talent or anything, but where his loans have been. I honestly think, I really, really hope I think he can prove himself at Spurs. But like I said, you're looking at Danso, you're looking at Radu, and Radu's agent, does he speak and go, right, it's not getting enough game time, off you go. Then you put Vuskovic there, don't you? But I really, really hope Ashley Phillips forges a career out at Spurs, because I think, like I've just been mentioning, I think he's a top defender of the future. And I think if he goes, he could be one of the ones we look back on and say, maybe we shouldn't have done that.
So, let's get on to Mr. Alfie Devine. As leader of the Alfie Devine fan club, having a fairly good loan spell, 14 games, 2 goals, 1 assist in the Championship this season. I know you keep a very close eye on Alfie Devine, so talk to me.
Well, so close that last Wednesday after the when obviously we played Tuesday, on Wednesday's Champions League games, no, I wasn't watching that. I was watching Preston beat Swansea 2-1 at Preston. They are flying high. They are 4th in the league. Ever since I've been on this channel, I've been raving about Alfie, so we're talking a good long time. He went to Port Vale and thrived. Obviously went to Plymouth where it didn't work out because the manager went to Belgium, was doing well, had a couple of hamstring injuries. Thankfully, the Preston fan community on Twitter are really welcoming, really great to talk to. I've sent you a tweet where people have talked about him. They can't speak highly enough of him. They cannot. They're saying that his pressing is second to none. He's always available, never shirts away. The goals he scored. They've also got a song for him, like you were saying, with it's basically the Brennan Johnson song. You saw in that game against Derby where he scored that absolute pigger into the top corner, and then he gets pushed like we've pushed our players, and they wax lyrical about him. I may be Frank's first line of defence. Well, I am Alfie's first line of defence and biggest fan. I think this guy is a star in the making. And the Championship this season, it shows where it didn't work at Plymouth. They play normally like in a 5. And he is loving what he's doing. He's having an impact on all games. Like I said, only 2 goals, 1 assist, but the 2 goals have been absolute bangers. He is thriving at Preston. He is doing really well. And like I said, talk about Stoke doing well, and you'd think that Premier League team for so many years, they'd be right up there. Preston in 4th currently. Yeah. They've been they are about the playoffs and pushing, and you've seen how that league is this season, or any season. Alfie is having a wonderful season. He's blossoming. Obviously, again, we look at midfielders. We are so stacked. A couple of seasons ago, Angie's first pre-season, I think he was our best player on pre-season. Before you went to Korea, Japan and everywhere. Played a couple of games this pre-season, but I'm delighted he signed a new contract before he went on loan to Preston. If there is one loan that I wish makes it, that I believe can make it and have a huge impact, it is Alfie Devine. I'm very, very protective of him. He's thriving at Preston, at the right club, and I think he is just going to go on and on to greater things. And I would love to see Preston come up to the Premier League via automatic promotional playoffs, and maybe there's another loan to see what he does in the Premier League with them. But he is blossoming, and I adore him, and I just hope we get to see him in a Spurs shirt more often, because he's come on a few times, hasn't he? For like a few minutes in cups or whatever. I think there is an absolute generation. I will say that, well, not generational, but I think there is a superstar in Alfie Devine, and I just hope it's in a Tottenham Hotspur shirt and not another.
The thing is with Alfie, like, I've always wondered what his best position is, because he always seems to play like just such a variety of different roles in teams, and I think Preston is no different as well, because I feel like I've seen I've looked into it a bit, like after Preston games when I'm keeping up with the loan players, and it looks like Preston play like different formations so often. Sometimes Alfie Devine's out on the left hand side, sometimes he's in a midfield 3. I feel like he's played so many different positions this season. For you, what's his best position, and where has he been playing most consistently this season?
So for me, when we bought him from Wigan, he was played either out wide left or as a 10. Since he's come to Tottenham, and obviously we've heard Ali Gold, whenever he's been in any age rank, he's outgrown it in 6 months and they've promoted him. And when he's played for England, he's played more as an 8 or a 10. And one thing that I was told when he came from Tottenham, to Tottenham from Wigan, is through family friends, I knew one of the Wigan doctors. They're like, his fitness levels are off the chart. Like when they do the beat tests and the running, like they do every season. You know, everyone talks about James Milner's fitness. They're like, this guy blows it out of the water. I think his best position, we saw in pre-season first year under Ange, he's kind of played between the 6 and the 8, especially against QPR, and he dominated the game when he came in. So I think the best position for him is the 8. Like, if we had him now, obviously we know he's not ready, but we're talking about that ball carrier and that guy that can get forward and break the lines. That is Alfie Devine. Not saying he should be there and started now, but I think the 8 or playing out wide left is his best position, but the 8 is the one.
So where do you see him breaking in at Spurs then? Because we've got Pape Sarr, we've got Lucas Bergvall, we've got Archie Gray. Where do you see a spot for him? Because I can't really see one.
This is the thing. This is what we've got to look at. He is so versatile. So maybe it's not just, right, you can have one position. Maybe like an Archie Gray where he can play multiple positions. I would love it if he stayed with us next season and we didn't send him out on loan. It's like, now's your opportunity. I would love to see him used in the Carabao Cup. I would love to see him be used, maybe coming on 15, 20 minutes at the end of game in Premier League games, but maybe not against the top 6 or whatever, but utilise him and see what he can do, because I think he is a Swiss Army knife of positions in the midfield and left, and I just hope. Justin Cochrane loves him. Worked with him at England, worked with him before at Tottenham when he was with us. He loves him, and I know Thomas Frank has thought highly of him, so let's just hope he gets an opportunity, because I think, again, you look at homegrown, club trained, he fits that. He fits that. We signed him when he was 16.
Yeah.
So I think he has all the potential in the world. And if we do, as I was saying before we went, if we do sell him, and let's say he goes to a championship team or lower, I expect him at a big club within 3 seasons. He will be at a big club because he has the talent and he has the ability. He just needs that chance.
All right, so that's Alfie Devine. Next up is Manor Solomon out at Villarreal. Not going too well for Manor, to be honest. He's played 4 games, 1 goal. It looked like for a stage he was, about to break in to the Villarreal team after we played them. After we beat them 1-0, he was an unused sub. He played 24 minutes at home to Osasuna, came on, got an assist in a 2-1 win. Played 7 minutes, scored a goal in the winner away at Sevilla. Played 72 minutes, started the game at Bilbao. And since then, he's got 10 minutes at Betis. He started a cup game and came on for half an hour against Paphos in the Champions League, but no other minutes. So on the bench against Vallecano, didn't come on. On the bench against Valencia, didn't come on. Against Man City, didn't come on. Real Madrid didn't come on. Juventus didn't come on. So he has been really underused, but it seems like when he has had the opportunity, he's delivered for them.
Yep.
So I don't really understand the situation. He is, unfortunately, the same old story with Manor Solomon, suffering with an injury right now, and that's kept him out for just 1 game, which was the last game. He has been pulled out of international duty as well. So hopefully he can recover and have an impact from now until January. However, if he doesn't, if he still kind of gets limited chances from now until January, I think we need to recall him and either try and sell him or find another loan for him, because we can't just have players out on loan that are just not getting minutes.
Yeah, I think this is obviously, when it comes to Manor Solomon, there's so much more than just his football, isn't there, unfortunately. What we've got to look at, like you said, and we mentioned it yesterday, or you mentioned it yesterday, when we sell him, it's just pure profit. So, we normally say, take the hit kind of thing. There is no take the hit here. I think if he's not getting the minutes, recall him and just sell him. Whether it be for 5 million, whether it be 10, 15, whatever it may be, we keep overlooking how's he performing. We know he's not going to play in the Spurs shirt for whatever reason. So do you just say, right, we've had a bid for you, we're going to accept it, you're off the wage bill, and just deal with it, because we just look at this and he's not had the game time anywhere really, has he? Apart from Leeds, where he absolutely thrived last season. Maybe they'd look into it again at January. Maybe with their position, maybe they'll be like, he's the exact person we need. But I think whether he gets the minutes at Villarreal or not, if an offer comes in for him, just sell him, because obviously he's not going to play at Spurs anymore, is he?
Yeah, unfortunately not. But, you know, I still think, like, if we were to bring him back, he could probably have a little bit of an impact for us, whether maybe not starting every week, but definitely on the bench and make an impact for us. Because, you know, Odebear's shining now, but before Odebear started really hitting the ground running after 3 games ago, you know, we had such a massive hole on that left-hand side, and I thought he definitely could have made an impact. But, yeah, I mean, look, if it's a choice between Odebear and Manor Solomon right now, I am choosing Odebear and sticking with the trajectory that he's on, because I think he's flying right now. So I think he would get minutes at Spurs, but I don't think it'd be anything significant or anything like that. But, yeah, I agree with you. I think bring him back in January if he's not getting any minutes and try sell him.
I mean, even if he was getting minutes and the bid comes in, you'd think, right, we'll just take the bid, wouldn't you? You would really think, look, let's just get this over and done with. And then, obviously, Manor can go on and do what he needs to do. And Tottenham can just move on and use that money to bolster Frank's squad.
Yeah. And the last player we're going to talk about is Alejo Veliz, the kind of forgotten man, you know.
Yep.
I kind of liked Alejo Veliz when he was at Spurs. I thought he showed a good attitude. I think he showed signs of quality without really showing it or without really getting the opportunity. He scored that goal at Brighton, didn't he, in that crazy game? But anyway, no ends of problems. Went to Sevilla on loan, didn't do well. Went to Espanyol, didn't do well. He's gone back to his home, Argentina, Rosario Central, playing alongside Angel Di Maria there as well. And he's actually doing really well. 15 games this season, 5 goals, 1 assist. He's on a rich vein of form at this moment in time. Seems to be playing football with a smile on his face right now. With Alejo, do you think that there's any kind of future at Tottenham? Like, because he is doing really well right now.
No, I don't. And that's through no fault of his own. You mentioned the Brighton goal. What I actually loved about Alejo Veliz, and one of the things I thought showed incredible character, was, do you remember in the Bournemouth game on New Year's Eve when he got injured and he's limping around the pitch and still trying to get the ball, hold up the ball? I mean, that shows.
The thing is with that, and I know what you're going to say, you know, it shows a really good attitude, and it does. But, like, I was in the stands that day and I'll say, go down, go down, go down. Why are you not going down? You're just hampering us at this point.
Yeah, no, there is that side of it. But, I mean, you look at it nothing really went for him at Spurs. I mean, a lot of the thing that said it instantly was the season we lost Harry Kane where we brought him in. It's like, that's what you're doing, Alejo Veliz. And he's just shown he's gone to Argentina. And when you got someone like Angel Di Maria assisting you, he's doing very well in Argentina, his homeland. I just can't see how he gets a career at Spurs. It just weren't working out. Didn't work out for him in Spain. He could go on to have a great career in Spain, or I just don't think he's fit for the Premier League and for Tottenham. And I don't see any future for him at Spurs.
No matter how well he does from now to the end of the season.
I mean, you look at these players. I mean, let's face it. Other big teams have brought in talent from South America where they've scouted him and they have turned out to be absolute diamonds. Do I think Alejo Veliz is that? I'm more inclined to say no than yes, but that would have been our scouting network and our way of transfers, where people like Chelsea's and Manchester City's with Savinho see these talents and spend fortunes on them, whereas we go, oh, this guy looks good, how much was he? What's it, 12 million or something?
Yeah.
Rather than identifying a genuine star like the Real Madrids do or whatever. So I wish him well and I hope he has a fantastic career. I just can't see it being at Tottenham Hotspur.
Fair enough, yeah. I kind of do feel the same. I don't think he will play another game for Tottenham. I feel like he's probably just going to make a really good career for himself out in Argentina. And it's where he's comfortable. It's where he plays well. Consistent minutes, consistent goal contributions as well. You never know. He's 22 years of age, so you never know where his career can take him. But I feel like we'll probably end up selling him back to Rosario for a cut price fee.
I think wasn't there something that was said that we've done kind of like what we do with Johnny Cardozo, but we've done it the other way, that seeing that they were, this is what I heard, I don't know if it's official, that when they take him, it's not going to be a big transfer fee, but there's going to be like the percentage of a sell-on to the next one.
Wouldn't be surprised.
So I think that's what I heard. I can't remember if it was official or whatever, but it would make more sense if he does make a big move to Spain or something. The Spurs will get the benefit of that rather than a low transfer fee for him now. So that's what I heard. I can't remember if that was official or whatever, but that would make more sense, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it would. But look, that is all 13 players and how they are doing on their loans this season. For me, the standouts have got to be Tyrese Hall and Luka Vuskovic for me. I know you're probably going to add someone else in there, but
two in there.
I want to see Mikey Moore really kick on now after the 3 fantastic games under Danny Roll, and I want to see Jamie Donnelly come back and go out somewhere on loan because I really rate Jamie Donnelly highly. But yeah, I think those are the real standouts, and probably the biggest disappointment so far is Jamie Donnelly.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to chuck in for the pros, Alfie Devine, shockingly, and Ashley Phillips. Like you said, I can't. With the disappointments, you can only really look at Jamie, can't you? Because so much was expected of him after what he achieved at Leyton Orient, where he was phenomenal, probably the best loan of last season.
Yeah.
In all honesty.
Yeah.
And it's just unfortunate, but I hope if he doesn't get a good run at Christmas, recall him and find a suitable team for him where he will get minutes because we know the talent he's got.
All right. Well, there you have it. We are going to try on this international break to find fans of these various clubs and give you a more in-depth update from the eyes of people that are watching him week in, week out. But that is it from us today. That is your Loan Watch. Like, subscribe and comment. And as always, come on you Spurs.